Hello, how are you doing today? So, we're going to do a book review, and this is DC Comics, a visual history updated edition from 2014. So, I did read this already, and basically, what it is, it covers all of DC Comics from its humble beginnings to 2014. So, we're going to do something a little different this time. Let me show you the covers, front and back, because this is some gorgeous artwork here. And as always, you should be watching this on your TV, because watching it on your phone does not do it justice, because then you're like, I can't see that. So yeah, watch this on your TV. There's the barcode for the library if you want to try and check, if you want to check this out. Just let me do this. And yes, I have gum again. And yes, it appears somebody actually scratched the book. I didn't realize that. There's some beautiful black and white. I always tease my artist friends about that shit, because they do a lot of black and white stuff, and they're like, it's finished, and I'm like, great, now I can't fucking color it, and they laugh. So we're doing this differently. We're gonna go from the back, because I want to do the index first before I go to the front. So here's the index. All right, and this is everything in the book. So you can see what pages they're on, and you'll have an idea of where to look, and ooh, sorry about that, and what is covered. This way you don't get upset because you don't know what's there and what's covered. And I will, go through the basics of this as soon as I'm done going through this, because this is a big ass index for the most part. Like, it's crazy how big this book is and what it covers and stuff. It basically covers the decades and how DC changed and evolved over the years, and how they, evolved their mainstays and brought in new additions and stuff. So it's really cool how they did it, and I love that a lot. And of course, you can pause this at any time and, check it out, see where I'm at, so you know what to look for. Like, if you're sitting there watching this now and you have this book, or you're curious about this book, you can be like, oh, okay, now I know what page I want to look at. Like, if I want to look for Hero, Hero, I can go to 116 and 311. Now, you're also wondering, how many pages is this book? Well, I will tell you once we get through the index, because this is a lot of fucking names. These are all the names that are included in the index. So, that's why I'm doing this. I'm trying to be as in-depth as I can with this book, because it is a big book. And to do it, I got to do this two columns at a time, so you get a full scale of what's involved in this. And I am going a little fast, but decently slow at the same time. That way you can get an idea of what's involved here. Because it is a lot to go through. But thankfully, this is mostly pictures and some articles, so it'll go fast. But this is going to be a long video, so if you don't like long videos, Definitely not for you to watch, so I would suggest backing out right now. But if you like long videos, then, stay tuned, because this is going to be a fun breakdown. All right. Now we're getting down to the nitty gritties. So how have I been? I've been doing pretty good. Well, let me move that out so you can see that. There you go. Sorry about the shadow. I have my curtain slightly drawn because of the sun shining in, but I have it partly open so I can also do this. And as you can see, I'm going to go right here for real quick. Like with certain names, there's going to be multiple entries for them, so you can see that for Superman. He's got tons of fucking pages. But other people that are like not as popular, they only have maybe 2 to 3, maybe 7 entries, give or take. And is that it? Let's see. Yeah, that's it. And then there's the acknowledgments. So this book is a total of 376 pages. Okay, cool. So let's go to the beginning with this thing and get cracking. All right. So, as I mentioned before, this is from 2014, so this is 5 years old. It's 2019. So, let me get situated here better. So, as you can see, this covers up to 2014, so I'd say probably a New 52, give or take. And here's the table of contents of what you can expect. There's a foreword from Paul Levitz, the introduction, the 1930s, the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, the index, and acknowledgments. So it covers from the 30s up to 2014. Okay? So now you know what to expect. So don't say you don't know how long the book is, or I didn't say right fucking there. So we'll skip the foreword and jump into this and the introduction. Whoops, my bad. Yep. All right, fuck that. 1930. So, what this book details, as I've said before, it chronicles the rise of DC Comics in the 30s and how they evolved over the years. So, yeah, there we go. So, started in 35, and this is basically the layout you will see on every page for the most part. Some of these pages you'll be turning the book this way because there's some, 2-page posters in here. And others, it'll just be, a 2-page spread like this, but it'll have the detailing where, it shows you what the date, it'll give you a synopsis backstory, the comic cover, a little biography, some details at the bottom, and all this good stuff. And then it goes through the years, and you'll see that. I mean, it's crazy how, DC has changed over the years. Everybody is, here, perfect example where I said I'd turn the book. Slam Bradley, Jerome Siegel, and Joe Shuster. If I wasn't so sore at you, I'd kiss you. Boy, I've been looking forward to this for a long time. Wham! Wham! No. So see, there's that cool shit right there. And this is from Detective Comics number 5 from July 37. Fun fact, my birthday is in July. So... Yeah, this goes into everything. The one thing I wish they would do is make a DC film about Batman. I know DC Batman films are getting fucking old for real. Like they're so boring. Because you do so many iterations of Batman flood the market, it sucks ass. But there's one I really want to see, and that's with him carrying a gun. I want to see that really bad. Fuck off, Whisper. And there's Junior Justice Society of America. Now, since this is 300 something pages, I'm going to skim through some parts of it so you get an idea what to expect. So here's 51. And like I said, same setup, all that stuff, and then you get you get what's in here, and this is a nice collector's guide. It's a nice collection addition to your collection if you like DC Comics. I wish Dark Horse would do the same thing for their collection, but I don't think they will. There's the Western. Well, I won't turn that. Fuck that. 67. Justice League and the Fatal Five. Oh, that was... That's awesome. So as you can see, the shit changes continuously. There's the 70s. And you also get this little biography about each decade that they give you. So in the 70s, there was this. And it's always amazing to watch comics change and evolve with the times. Not a lot of people like that. A lot of people get pissed because they don't like seeing their heroes change. They don't like seeing them. They don't like them when they change the race, they change their religion, they change their stance on stuff, gender swap, all that bullshit, or their origin stories changed, who they fuck, how they move, whatever. It's retarded. I mean, I get it, but to me, it's retarded. I mean, if you're gonna act like a whiny baby about it, like, maybe don't read no more. So now we're in the 80s, and the 80s, was pretty fucking radical at the time. Who the hell is that? Ah, Frank Miller. Ronin number 4. That sounds pretty cool. That's by Frank Miller. I like Frank Miller. He is very popular for having done The Dark Knight Returns comic series and bringing that movie to life. Jonah Hex. Fucking love him. I actually watched Jonah Hex, the movie, from ages ago. It's good, but it sucks because it feels like they took what was cool about it, threw it in the film, and then ripped out the plot that made it more popular and whatnot. So, no. I mean, DC and Marvel both have a lot of, off and on deals. Speaking of Dark Knight Returns, there you go. June 86. It's pretty awesome. I own both parts of the film, and I actually prefer Robin to be female. I don't know what it is, but it is a good fit. It's just such a perfect fit, and it's a good change of pace as well. And we got the all-time celebrated classic, Watchmen. I love Watchmen. I love the movie. I love the comic. I love the whole storyline. And yes, I am anxious for Doomsday Clock. And no, I have not read Doomsday Clock. I still haven't read Before Watchmen yet, so I'm behind on a lot of shit. That's from Dark Knight Returns. This awesomeness here. And it's amazing how they transferred, you know, panel for panel into the movie, which was beautiful. That's awesome. If you own any of these comics that you see on the screen, give us a thumbs up. You know? 87. Let's do another time jump. 90s. Here we go. So, 1991. The comic boom. So, basically, I leafed through this. I looked at every page. I don't really read it. I just, you know, graze over it. So, you know, it's amazing. And here's some stuff at the bottom. Because this is interesting. Because they talk about the comic universe and then what's going on in the real world during that time as well. So, not only do you, oh man, one of the most iconic moments in comics. So, hold on. So, not only do you get comic events, you get real world events at the same time, which is really cool and makes this book hella intricate, and I like that. But here's one of the most iconic moments from the 90s in the death of Superman. I mean, hell, I never read this story, actually. I have the Wizards of the Coast collector's edition fold out of those two fighting, and that's about it. And, you know, this was a hell of a moment because nobody could beat Superman. That was a huge thing. And the way they redid the movie last year, fucking phenomenal. I mean, it's better than the first one, Superman Doomsday from 2007. Really, you know, I mean, it's watered down, but it's still good though. But you know, Death of Superman, Reign of the Superman combined, damn good double feature. Fucking awesome. Batman Nightfall. Introduction of Vertigo Comics. I've never read Vertigo Comics though. Let's check out Vertigo's bio. But like I said, I'm trying to make this brevity, so I'm just like running through little things. But also key points as well. And she's pretty. I like that. Alright, let's go. Time hop, 2003. I was going to keep this I was going to make it fully intricate, but I don't want it to be like super long. But, you know, I want to jump ahead and, you know, give you an idea of what you're going to expect in this book, of what to expect. So, 2003, what's going on? We got some crazy stuff. But yeah, I mean, I love DC Comics. I said this before in my Marvel versus DC and other companies hour-long video. You know, DC has it going on. They got it going on story-wise and animated. Green Lantern. Hell yeah. You know, Marvel's okay. I mean, both companies are phenomenal in how they do it. This story made me cry because it was so powerful and so deep. Mm. Oh, man. And there's Infinite Crisis. I own Infinite Crisis, actually. So there's that. Spoiler! Superboy dies! It's a hell of a story, though. 2007. 2008. I never did read this storyline, but it does look pretty cool. Just by... excuse me. Just by how his suit looks, that interests me. This is how I judge and base my interest on anything. Like, this is cool to me. Like, that's a cool fucking suit. This looks cool as hell too. Clash of the Psychos. I'm gonna have to check my library and see if they have that. If you've read this, give me a thumbs up, because I never heard of this. Like, this looks really fucking cool, man. Freddy versus Jason versus Ash. That even sounds fucking crazy. All kinds of cool shit here. And then, yes, DC actually published Gears of War. I showed you that in the Gears of War 3-volume comic set I own. And now they have, what else do they have right now? There's the Rise of Rom, which I also own, and I did a review on that. That was under, where the hell are you? Yeah, I was under IDW. And then they have a new one out called Hive Busters, so I don't know what that's published under. I haven't gotten it yet, because I don't buy single issues. I know a lot of people, they always go out and they have to have the #1 issue, and they collect it issue by issue. I don't do that shit. I wait till it's a collected edition, and then, you know, I reserve it at my library and read it that way. Alright, now we're in the 2010s. There's 2011. Batman Goes Global. Oh, baby. And I know a lot of people aren't happy with the New 52 and how that went. I don't know why, but I didn't see a problem with it, honestly. I really didn't. When I look at comics, I look at it based on the cover, and, you know, I jump into it and I read it because, like you, if you're 90s baby like me, you grew up watching Justice League. So you know all the voice talents for Justice League, from Kevin Conroy to George Newbern to Nathan Fillion to Phil Lamar to Tara Strong. Who else was involved with that? A couple others. Clancy Brown. And a few others. So when you read the comics, if you're like me and you read the comics and you hear their voices as you're reading their bubbles, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, it's eidetic memory. The 52 pickup. And I remember one of the big things that happened with Superman, I don't know when the hell it was, but he dropped the American Way aspect from his slogan, and people were pissed about that. I'm like, well, sorry. There we go. Earth 2. Pretty. I did reserve Earth 2 at one point. I had the entire 7-volume set. But I didn't read it. I ended up returning all the books because I just wasn't interested in reading at the time. But eventually I will get back into reading comics. So, here we are, 2013. I read Trinity War. No, I didn't. I don't know. I might have, I might not have. I don't remember. I did read a lot of comics, though. And the one thing, if you've done this, I guarantee you've probably done this. If you're not new, if you don't know comics and shit, you've probably, like, grabbed, I don't know, like Green Lantern 5th series, and didn't realize it tied into something else in the back, and then you're like, shit, that's nice. And you're like, oh yeah, I can skip ahead. I never realized that. Then we come to 2014. And of course, there's all these goodies here. And I did read Future's End. I talked about that before. I'm pretty sure I did. Or I might have talked to myself about it. I don't know. But anyway, I did read Future's End. I read all 3 volumes. I read the 5 years later omnibus as well. So I read about 1,200 pages worth combined. That shit was, oh man, it was crazy. Fucking crazy, man. I did read Doomed. I did like that. That was pretty good. Like I said, I'm behind on a lot of stories. Like I used to en masse reserve and rent anywhere between 18 to 25 comics, and you're talking, a good couple years of shit and storylines to read. So yeah, I caught up quick, and then we're at the index again. So there we go. We're back to the 90s. Oh my god, I read that. So I'll leave through this part real quick so you can get an idea what you missed. So, yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of this book. This is an informative book. It chronicles everything that's happened in the DC universe from the beginning to 2014 in this book so far. There will probably be a re-release of it that shows you, it's updated with everything new and shit, Dark Knight's Metal and so on and so forth. One of my favorite stories, Kingdom Come. This left me in fucking tears. This was beautifully written, beautifully drawn. Just, oh man. So powerful. And I emphasize that immensely. Like, it was powerful storytelling at its finest. And you can't beat that shit. Everybody's like, oh, this is better. Marvel's the shit. I'm like, nah, motherfucker, you need to read Kingdom Come. There's Wonder Woman. Art by Adam Hughes. I do like his artwork. His art style's pretty good. I like a lot of different artists. I'll go into that another time. So we're at 2000s now. So we're going to close that. And we're going to recap. So if you like this kind of book, if you like a visual history about comics, definitely for you. Would I recommend it to friends? Obviously. Yeah. If you love DC Comics, this is for you. This book is about probably 2 to 5 pounds, maybe. So it's a heavy one. Good for toilet reading. I know somebody on one of my videos said that it's going to be stressful reading. I don't give a fuck. You have a sink. You can prop it up on your fucking knees. If you don't like anything in DC Comics, if you are against DC Comics altogether, not for you. If you're an avid comic book collector and you like historical collections of books about individual companies, this is good for your collection. If you need a prop for your bed because you broke it fucking too hard, this is a good start. This is a good way to start with a foundation for it. If you like books that give you intricate details and stuff, definitely for you. And as always, check your local library. This is the title for it. So find it at your library, rent it, see if you like it. If you do, then you can go check eBay or Amazon and figure out which one's cheapest. Check out Macari. It might even get on there for cheap. So until next time, like and subscribe for thoughts and prayers.